All right, let's talk about one of the coolest tools in English grammar. We're diving into the world of what if, the language we use to talk about a past that never actually happened. I mean, who hasn't, right? We all have those moments we play over in our heads thinking, what if I'd done this differently? Well, there's a specific piece of grammar built for exactly that feeling, and today we are going to get it down perfectly. So first up, let's start with the fun stuff. How we use this structure just to play around with history, to imagine a completely different chain of events. Check this out. It's a perfect, everyday example. Now, in reality, the train was on time and I took the train. Simple. But with this one sentence, boom, we've created a whole parallel universe where things went down differently. And you can see this pattern anywhere. The reality is, she wasn't ill and the project got done. And it didn't rain, so the festival was a huge hit. We're just exploring those what-if scenarios, the knock-on effects of things that never actually were. Okay, so this isn't just for imagining alternate timelines, it can get way more personal. Let's look at how we use this exact same structure to talk about something we all feel sometimes: regret. And this is where it gets really powerful. This isn't just an observation, is it? It's packed with emotion. You're looking back at the past and wishing something had been different. You're connecting a condition, being shy, with a result you really wish you could change. You know, this structure basically gives a voice to that if-only feeling. If only I'd traveled more, or if only I'd remembered to write that down. It's the perfect way to talk about looking back with just a little bit of wistfulness. All right, now for the drama. This very same grammar can be turned into a sharp tool for assigning blame, for pointing out exactly how someone else's mistake caused a problem. Oh, you can just feel the frustration in that sentence, can't you? It's not a suggestion, it's a direct accusation. It creates this unbreakable link. Your action or lack of action is the one and only reason for this bad result. It's like pointing a finger, grammatically. And you see it again in these examples. It's always, if you had told me, or if they had given me. The focus is completely off yourself and onto someone else's responsibility. It's the language of cause and effect, but used to highlight where somebody else messed up. Okay, so we've covered the why, imagining, regretting, and blaming. But what about the how? How does this thing actually work? Let's pop the hood and look at the surprisingly simple formula behind it all. Honestly, it's just a simple two-part recipe. The if part, the condition, that uses the past perfect. That's just had plus a past participle, like had been or had told. Then the result part uses would have plus a past participle, like would have known. That's it. That's the whole blueprint. And here's a great little pro tip. You can totally flip the two parts of the sentence around and the meaning doesn't change one bit. If I hadn't been shy, I would have made friends is the exact same as I would have made more friends if I hadn't been so shy. The only tiny difference is the comma when the if part is first. It just gives you some flexibility. So let's pull all this together. It's pretty clear that this one single grammar structure is, well, incredibly versatile. When you boil it all down, the third conditional really has these three core jobs. It lets us invent alternate realities, it gives voice to our regrets, and it lets us pinpoint exactly where things went wrong. It's an amazing tool that covers everything from pure fantasy to some pretty raw human emotions. So, I'll leave you with this question, a little thought experiment. Now that you've got the blueprint for talking about the past that never was, if you had known this grammar inside and out before today, how would you have used it? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.